So on today's episode of We Can Always Tell, I pointed out that females are called men and males are called women, and provided an example of me, a female, being called a man, and Sam Mushy-Crouton being called a woman, which he's male, and neither of us are trans, we're both cis. And of course the TERFs and GCs denied that this ever happens, and said that men can't be women and women can't be men, which, do you guys know of a single trans supportive person who says this? Because I don't. We know that men are men and women are women. So I pointed out that this person isn't smart enough for this conversation, and the response was coming from a man who thinks he can be a woman. And y'all, I don't know how I'm gonna break the news to my vagina and my period, so if you guys have any tips, send them along. But yeah, it was pretty hilarious. So then I said that they failed the We Can Always Tell test, and they said that they assumed that I was a misogynistic man because of my views, which I didn't know that misogynistic views made someone a man or a woman, but apparently my misogynistic views are that women can't have anything to themselves and that men should just have access to everything, which I don't think I ever mentioned my views about single-sex spaces in this conversation, so maybe, just maybe, the misogynistic man is the one who assumed my views without even asking me. And we'll put aside the fact that, in my experience, most TERFs are men who think that they have to protect women from themselves, but we'll be fair, because statistically, there's probably just as many men and women who care about single-sex spaces as there are as men and women who don't. And this person thinks that if they get a video of my face and my voice together, that they'll be able to pass the We Can Always Tell test for real, which my face and my voice are out there if they really want to find them. But I guarantee you this video will not do anything to quell the rumors that I'm a man pretending to be a woman, because I'm sure that I put someone else up to filming this, or it's not actually me, or it's AI, it has filters, something. But that's today's episode of We Can Always Tell. I can't wait to see what tomorrow's episode is. So we had another episode of We Can Always Tell today, and it did not disappoint, because me and another one of my female friends were told that we should stay out of women's spaces, because I guess this person assumed that we were both men who didn't care about women's boundaries. Because, you know, women who don't care about single-sex spaces and who don't care about trans women somehow become men. Even though I thought being a woman was about being female, but I digress. And I told this person that the UK law does not say that we should stay out of women's spaces no matter how much they wish that it did. And they responded and said that we should just put a sign on the door saying no cocks allowed. And I'm pretty sure that neither one of us have a cock, so I don't even know what they're talking about. And then my friend Maggie, which Maggie uses it any pronouns, and she's non-binary, but she is RMAB, and someone told her that she has girly hands and that she will forever live with what a female idea of what a man is, which is just really funny, because a man is an adult male human being. And that is Maggie. So these people are just idiots. They don't know what the hell they're talking about, and their batting average is .002. As usual, so they never disappoint. So we had another episode of We Can Always Tell today, and it's a good one. So it all started when my friends and I were arguing with a transphobe, and it devolved into transphobic brain rot, because it inevitably always does. So one of my friends had decided that this person was a troll and was just going to give fiber arts facts, which is always fun because I always learn a lot. So the transphobe had asked what a woman is, and we always know that this is a sign that it's going to devolve into transphobic brain rot. And so my friend said that a woman is someone who falls more on the female side of bimodal characteristics. And the transphobe asked what female characteristics are, and my friend said that it's characteristics that are created from estrogen, which my friend is right, because with cis women, we already have the hormone in our bodies, and then trans women, it's exogenous. And the transphobe said that we think that tits and ass make someone a woman, which we never said that. And I'm like, well, this is awkward because I don't have an ass, I only have tits. And my trans woman friend comes into the conversation and says, oh, is that what makes me a woman? And the transphobe tells both of us that neither of us are women and neither of us can use women's spaces in the UK, which I don't know about her, but there's absolutely nothing keeping me from using women's spaces in the UK. And I've heard that they aren't really enforcing that law, so I feel like my friend would be just fine. And then the transphobe tells us not to be offended, which, why would we be offended? Like, we both know that we're women. And then I just think it's funny because it's more material for the We Can Always Tell show. And I fit the definition of what a woman is in their eyes. So then she's like, oh, you have a show about being an obvious man? And my friend is like, being an obvious man? Me looking at your videos. And so I made a joke that it's all filters and AI and a voice editor, which is just really funny because I wouldn't even know how to do that. And then the transphobe tells one of my phenotypically female friends to go make socks for their balls, which I'm pretty sure this person does not have balls. So it's just always fun when the transphobic brain rot sets in and when they ask what a woman is, because they genuinely don't know and they cannot tell who a man is and who a woman is. It's not asking because they don't think we have the correct definition. So the We Can Always Tell show is still going because the We Can Always Tell crowd never gives it a rest. So my two trans women friends were arguing with a transphobe, and the transphobe told both of them they're men. And two of my non-binary friends commented on the post, and this person also told them that they're men. So they were both like, well, thanks for affirming my gender. And then I was curious. I was curious to see what this person would say to me and kind of wanted to join the conversation as a cis woman, you know, a real woman in their eyes. And they also told me that I was a man. And so I said something like, have a seat, kiddo, the women are talking. And they said, no, you mean the men. And I'm like, no, actually, I mean in women, because there's 3 women here and 1 man, and guess who is who? Because I love using their arguments against them that women are actually better at telling who's a man and who's a woman. And then one of my accounts goes by the name Danielle, and they said that I was a grown-ass man calling myself Danielle, which I just kind of laughed at because my dad, who literally determined my sex, because I'm pretty sure I'm XX, I've never been tested, but that would be my guess based on everything, like going through female puberty and having a female phenotype and all of that. But my dad, who literally determined my gender, has called me she and a girl since birth. And then my mom, who literally gave birth to me and named me Danielle along with my dad, has also called me she and a girl since birth. So the We Can Always Tell crowd struck out again, because they always do. 0.002, I'm telling you. So we had another episode of We Can Always Tell today because the We Can Always Tell crowd will not give it a rest. I honestly did not set out to become a making fun of the transphobe channel or to even make trans content at all, because I didn't feel like it was my place and I didn't ever want to speak over or for trans people. But they just give so much material to work with, and there's enough to keep me busy on this channel for a very long time. There's a new episode of We Can Always Tell almost every day. So this one starts with someone telling my friend Mags that she's an Asian lesbian with an AI girlfriend. And so Mags told this person that they would lose that bet. And honestly, I kind of get it, because I assumed that Mags was a woman when I first met him. Mags is non-binary and uses it, any pronouns, so I'll be switching back and forth. I'm going to be addressing this in their worldview for the rest of this video, so just keep that in mind. So Mags told this person that they would lose that bet, and I commented and I said, can I take that bet against them? And he's like, yeah, sure. So it's kind of funny, because people have assumed that Mags and I are sock accounts in the past. I don't even know how their brains came to that conclusion, because he's in the UK and I'm in the US, and we're active at completely different times, and we don't even type or talk the same. He's got the British English, and then I type in American English. So this person said that I was her Asian girlfriend, or AI girlfriend. And Max is like, do you hear that, Danielle? Because one of my accounts goes by the name Danielle. You're my AI girlfriend. And I'm like, oh, okay. We're a lesbian couple. We just kind of leaned into it. We leaned into the being a lesbian couple thing, and we leaned into being sock accounts. Because technically, if you go by our biological sexes, which the We Can Always Tell crowd would go by our biological sexes, you know, sex fundamentalism, we'd be a heterosexual couple. But whatever. If they want to assume that we're a lesbian couple, I'll go with it. But this lore is wild. It's almost reaching like mushy crouton level lore.